Welcome back to your channel name, Top Coin. Today, we're diving into the fascinating history and value of a truly special coin, the 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin. Whether you're a coin collector, history enthusiast, or just curious about rare coins, this is one coin that's worth learning about. By the end of this video, you might even want to add it to your collection, if you can find one, that is. So let's start by going back to the year 1980. This was a monumental year for Zimbabwe. After years of colonial rule under Britain, Zimbabwe gained its independence on April 18, 1980, becoming a free nation. And like many newly independent countries, Zimbabwe needed to establish its own identity. One way they did that was through their currency. The government of Zimbabwe introduced a new currency to reflect their sovereignty, and in doing so, they issued a series of coins. Among them was the famous $1 coin of 1980. This coin wasn't just a piece of metal, it symbolized independence, hope, and a new future for the people of Zimbabwe. Now, let's talk about the design of this unique coin, because it's packed with meaning. The 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin is made of nickel brass and weighs about 10 grams, with a diameter of 28.50 millimeters. On the obverse, you'll see an image of Zimbabwe's first president, Canaan Banana, the country's leader at the time of independence. Around his portrait, the words President Canaan Banana 1980 are inscribed. The reverse side is equally significant. Here, we see the majestic Zimbabwe bird, a national emblem that's been part of Zimbabwe's cultural heritage for centuries. The bird is believed to represent freedom and spiritual power. Below the bird, the denomination $1 is boldly marked. Both sides of the coin blend Zimbabwe's political and cultural identity. The $1 coin of 1980 tells the story of a nation emerging from colonialism and embracing its own path. Okay, so now you know about the history and the design. But what about the value of this coin today? Is it just a historical artifact, or is there serious money to be made? First, you need to know that the 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin is not in circulation anymore. Due to hyperinflation in the 2000s, Zimbabwe's currency went through a roller coaster of changes, and coins were eventually replaced by paper money and later, foreign currencies like the US dollar. This means that coins from the 1980s, especially the $1 coin, are no longer being produced and are becoming increasingly rare, particularly in mint condition or uncirculated form. Let's talk numbers. If you're lucky enough to have one of these coins in your possession or are thinking about buying one, you might be wondering, what is its current market value? Prices for the 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin can vary dramatically depending on factors like condition, rarity, and demand. For a circulated coin, you might see prices ranging from around $10 to $20 USD on online marketplaces. But if you happen to have a coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, those coins can fetch up to $50 or more. That may not seem like a massive fortune, but remember, this coin is gaining value every year as fewer of them remain in circulation. And for coin collectors, its historical significance and rarity make it a prized addition to any collection. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Some rare versions of this coin, those that are graded and encapsulated by organizations like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation, NGC, or Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, have sold for much higher amounts at auctions. In 2020, for example, an uncirculated 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin with a high grade of MS65 sold for over $200 USD at auction. For a coin that was once worth only $1, that's a pretty good return on investment, right? But why such a big price difference? What makes one $1 coin worth $10 and another worth $200? Let me break it down. The condition of the coin is the most important factor. Coins in mint or uncirculated condition, those without scratches, tarnishing, or wear, are far more valuable than those that have been in circulation. Then, there's the rarity factor. Some coins were part of limited runs or may have unique minting errors that make them more valuable to collectors. If a coin has a mistake, like a double strike or a flaw in its design, it can command a premium price. And finally, the demand. If there's a surge in interest among collectors, prices can skyrocket overnight. We've seen this happen with coins from other countries, and the Zimbabwe $1 coin is no exception. So, what's the future for this coin? Should you hold on to it, or is now the time to sell? While it's impossible to predict the exact future value of the 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin, many experts believe its value will continue to rise due to its rarity and the historical significance it holds. So if you have one of these coins, hold on to it. It could be worth a lot more in the coming years. In conclusion, the 1980 Zimbabwe $1 coin is much more than just a piece of currency. It represents a nation's struggle for independence, the rise of a new government, and a story of economic turmoil. And for collectors, it's a valuable and rare piece of numismatic history. Thanks for joining me on this journey through history and money. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to your channel name, and let me know in the comments below, do you own any rare coins? And what coin should I cover next? See you next time! Today to our deep dive into the 1997 Zimbabwean $2 coin, its history, its rise in value, and why collectors are so fascinated by this seemingly modest currency. To understand the true value of this coin, we first need to take a trip back in time to Zimbabwe's financial history. In the late 1990s, Zimbabwe was facing an economic crisis, one that would eventually lead to the infamous hyperinflation of the early 2000s. However, in 1997, things were not yet at their worst, and the government was still minting coins with confidence. The $2 coin was part of a larger series of coins issued by the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe. But unlike most currencies, Zimbabwe's coins would soon face dramatic changes in value, both in real-world usage and in the world of collectors. Let's take a moment to appreciate the design of the 1997 $2 coin. On one side, we see Zimbabwe's national emblem, the famous Zimbabwe bird, a symbol of the country's history and heritage. This bird was carved from stone centuries ago by the ancient Shona civilization, and today, it represents pride and national unity. On the reverse side, the coin bears the denomination and the year of issue, 1997. The design is simple but meaningful, reflecting both Zimbabwe's rich cultural past and its hope for a prosperous future. Unfortunately, that prosperity would be short-lived, as the country's economy spiraled into chaos soon after this coin was minted. By the early 2000s, Zimbabwe was entering a period of hyperinflation, one of the worst in global history. The value of the Zimbabwean dollar plummeted, and the government began printing larger and larger denominations of banknotes to keep up with runaway prices. Eventually, coins like the $2 coin became obsolete as they were worth far less than even a loaf of bread. But even as these coins lost their practical use, something fascinating was happening in the world of collectors and numismatists, the people who study and collect coins. As Zimbabwe's currency collapsed, collectors around the world began to take notice of the country's older coins. The 1997 $2 coin, in particular, started gaining interest due to its historical significance and its rarity outside of Zimbabwe. Today, this coin has become a prized collectible for those who specialize in African currencies or coins from defunct economies. While the coin may have been worth only $2 Zimbabwean dollars when it was minted, it now fetches much higher prices on the market, especially in mint condition. The value of the 1997 Zimbabwe $2 coin can vary depending on its condition, rarity, and the market demand at any given time. In some cases, a well-preserved coin might sell for around $10 to $50 to the right buyer, though the value could increase if it's part of a complete collection of Zimbabwean coins. But for some collectors, it's not just about the monetary value. It's about owning a piece of history, an artifact from a country that faced one of the most dramatic economic collapses in modern times. These coins tell the story of a nation's struggle and resilience. So what does the future hold for Zimbabwean coins, especially the 1997 $2 coin? As Zimbabwe continues to stabilize its economy and introduce new currencies, the coins from its turbulent past will likely only increase in value and significance. For now, the 1997 $2 coin stands as a reminder of a moment in time when Zimbabwe was on the brink of a major transformation, both economically and politically. And as long as people remain fascinated by this chapter in history, the coin's worth will continue to grow. Whether you're a seasoned collector or someone just curious about the past, the 1997 Zimbabwean $2 coin is more than just a piece of metal. It's a symbol of a nation's journey, one that continues to captivate the world. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more fascinating stories about coins, history, and the hidden treasures of the world.